Rising.
Our Broadways and long matches, I go, wow, I'm going to go to New York and they have nothing but short matches there.
So you were surprised when they asked you to do this hour thing?
I went, oh,
come
no.
on. Oh, come on.
I want a friggin' break.
Right.
And Bob Backlund, I watched him work. I said, that's going to be hard to do.
Yeah, he was great.
Wrestle him for an hour.
Sure. Did you have a lot of talking with him before?
No, I didn't talk to him at all.
Wow.
We're going to go 1 hour Broadway in the Garden.
Incredible.
My first time there. But here's what happened. You know, I worked with him, and I didn't try to punch him, and we just wrestled. And he was in such good shape that most of his matches, he never blew up ever, and he wouldn't sell for the guy. And
He wouldn't sell.
so the people didn't really get behind him, and he just beat him. And the guys didn't know how to work with him. Well, me going an hour Broadway, after 20 minutes, he finally got tired. So now I'm going to hold him down. I say, Bob, just stay down and sell this. And he respected me, and we liked each other. And I respected him as a shooter and a double tough son of a bitch that could have got mad at me and tore my leg off. But we're out there doing business. And he respected me that, you know, he knew I was a little bit tough, but not a wrestling tough like him. So we learned how to work together. I love Bob Backlund after that match, then we always had good matches, and I could lay in some chops on him, but with him it wasn't about that. It was wrestling back and forth, and I really learned how to wrestle from him. I learned some amateur stuff. So I love the matches I have with him.
They were great.
So,
love them.
That's great to hear because we loved your matches with him.
Absolutely.
But a lot of the former wrestlers speak about Backlund as almost bankrupting the WWF back then because he wasn't a draw.
Is there any legitimacy to that, Greg? That Backlund was a poor draw? Because Mike and I talk about it, and we don't recall that.
We used to go to the Garden regularly. We don't recall.
Well,
was Backlund
when
bad
I
for
wrestled
business
him,
after a
we
while?
drew.
Yeah, that's always true.
They should have just kept me for 3 years going against that. Just keep going and going.
Probably would have been a good idea.
Don't bring anybody else in.
But what would have been so wrong by putting the belt on you? Let you guys exchange it a couple of times.
Well, they held it up.
Vince.
They held it up the second time.
Yeah.
But I don't know what stopped it. I was in line to get it, and I should have got it, and then I could have wrestled everywhere, and then Vince gave it back to Backlund.
How about October 19th, 1981? Where you actually are smart enough to hop up first and the referee gives you the belt. And you walk out of Madison Square Garden as champion. I'm still angry that they took it away from you.
It was set up like that, double pin.
Rats.
And we both had our shoulders down, but they wanted to hold belt. They wanted to hold the belt back up. Excuse me. They wanted to hold the belt up.
Right.
And Ernie Roth, my manager, the Grand Wizard, kept saying, "You might get the belt. You might get the belt." So for about a month, I couldn't sleep.
His favorite was Magnificent Morocco.
Yeah.
My favorite was Greg Valentine. Guess where you come in? Oh, no. Here he comes. He's going to beat my guy.
Yeah.
So I wanted to ask you about the night of my, I think it's the 14th birthday. Greg Valentine, who you fall on top of.
Yeah. I remember the match.
And the referee counts, and Valentine pops up, and he tells the referee, "I won," and he walks out with the belt. Any memories of that particular night what went on behind the scenes? And what was it like working with Greg Valentine? Because for a whole week, I almost thought my guy had won the belt. So much for me.
Well, he was a great wrestler. He'd been in the business for a long time, and his father was in the business.
Johnny.
And his father was had some really great things to do. He could get more heat. They figured and the people really hated him, and that's a good thing. It's for him. It's not a bad thing. But Greg Valentine developed into a good wrestler too. Like he had the figure 4 leg lock for his ending, and we'd go an hour match. In the last 30 seconds, he'd have the hold with your legs. He had it on me, and the bell would ring, and they all thought I lost. But you know what? The time went out, and now we got to come back and do it again.
Was he one of the first guys you went 60 minutes with?
No, Harley Race,
Harley,
Ric Flair, Yeah, I went. Let's see, Don Morocco.
Okay.
Jesus, everybody.
We were at your Texas death match with Morocco at the Garden. Absolutely. That's how far back it goes.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I had a lot of. Don Morocco. I had 14-hour matches with him, and they kept telling. Vince Seniors kept saying he said, well, "I'm waiting till you get it right."
That's funny. That's cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching. Still waiting till you get it right. Cha-ching. How about